One, all praise to Yahweh Bashmi Al Shah. Double honor to the Apostle GMS. This is Noah Allah coming at you in the video. And as you can see before you on CNN.com, it's coming at you with a video about this recent events happening throughout the country. This is says New Jersey activates National Guard, urges residents to stay home after 8 p.m. See that? New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy on Monday. Hold on. New Jersey Governor. Okay, it says Monday, March 16th. I want to get a more recent one. Bear with me. This is good. In fact, I'll read this. And then I'll give you one more recent one. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy on Monday urged residents to stay home after 8 p.m., activated the National Guard, and issued an executive order limiting some business operations to fight the spread of coronavirus. All non-essential and non-emergency travel in Jersey is strongly discouraged beginning tonight at 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. each day, Murphy said. This will remain in effect for the foreseeable future. We want everybody to be home, not out. On Monday afternoon, he clarified that this was not explicitly a curfew. This is not a curfew, but it is strongly recommended and travel is strongly discouraged. That sounds like a curfew to me. If you don't need to be on the roads, you should not be on the roads, he said. Murphy signed an executive order Monday that mandates all non-essential retail, recreational, and entertainment businesses cease daily operations at 8 p.m. every night. He also mobilized the New Jersey National Guard to assist in our efforts in any way necessary. All right. So you see right there in New Jersey, they in the state of martial law right there. You know? It says, Murphy told CNN Monday night that the National Guard could be used to deliver food to children in need, help coordinate drive-through testing sites, and repurpose nursing homes and dormitories into hospitals. The National Guard can play a whole range of roles, Murphy said. As of Monday afternoon, New Jersey had 170 confirmed cases of coronavirus and 2 deaths. So to see this coronavirus thing, they're taking this thing real serious. We've been saying for a long time they're going to institute martial law in this society, man. Look at the scripture. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. 2nd Ezra is in the Bible. It's in the Apocrypha. Okay? When you read the Bible, in between the book of Matthew, Malachi, Matthew, you had a book called the Apocrypha, that they called the Apocrypha, which was originally already a part of the Bible. One of those books are known as 2nd Ezra. Like in the Bible, it's a book called Ezra. Well, this is also a book written by him. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Woe means like war or destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Right, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, draweth near. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So you're going to have civil unrest in the society. You're going to have people fighting against one another with swords in their hands, meaning weapons in their hands. So the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another. For there shall be sedition among men. Got the word sedition, see what that means, sedition. But you already know what the word means. Sedition is overt conduct, such as speech and organization that tends toward insurrection against the established order. So that's what sedition is. Okay, conduct and speech and organization that tends toward insurrection against the established order. Sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent towards or resistance against established authority. So that's going to happen. You're going to have people going against the established authority. All right? So you got to have people that's out there actually rising up against the government. Okay? You're going to have people doing that. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their princes, their kings, nor princes. Meaning what? Meaning what? They're not going to regard people as in positions of power. Kings or princes not going to regard presidents. They're not going to regard senators. They're not going to regard governors. They're not going to regard mayors. So councilmen, councilwomen. So you're going to have what? You're going to have people out there that's conducting themselves in a manner where they're going up against those that are in authority. Some people are not going to be obeying. Eventually, people are going to be obeying them. And that's going to cause an uprising in the government. You know, it's going to get bad out here, man. This is just the beginning. And we pray to Most High that this is it for America, man. This leads to the destruction of America. We can't wait. All right? For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of actions shall stand in their power. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning what? The same people that's causing sedition, and instead of invading one another, people gonna be invading one another's homes. They're gonna be invading one another's home, one another's private spaces. Eventually, that's what's gonna take place because people gonna need food. People gonna need food, and when that happens, you already know it's gonna happen. When people run out of food, they coming for you next. They coming to your home to take your food. Like that guy Gerald Celente said, he said when people lose everything and they have nothing to lose, they lose it. All right? And it says, they should not regard their kings nor princes, and they're not going to regard people in the positions of authority. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning what? The course of their action going to stand in their power, meaning their action going to be based upon their own power, meaning they're going to be doing whatever it is that they want to do. That's what's going to happen. You got people out there breaking curfews. You got people out there doing whatever it is that they want to do. Not taking heed to what the government is telling them. All right? It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So that's what's going to happen. A man going to desire to go into a city. He's not going to be able to go into a city. All right? He's going to desire to go, but he won't be able to. They want to go. He won't be able to leave from one city to another city, one neighborhood to the next, one state to the next, to leave the country. They even got travel bans, I believe, from Europe to the United States, or for anybody who going to Europe or come from Europe, going to Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And the Puerto Rico's governor wanted to the FAA. Let me get that real quick. Here you go. This is Puerto Rico. This is from the CaribbeanBusiness.com. Puerto Rico governor asked FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Agency, to restrict flights to curb spread of COVID-19. San Juan Governor Wanda Vasquez announced Wednesday morning that she has asked Federal Aviation Agency FAA Administrator Stephen Marshall Dixon for permission to take several measures to control air traffic, including the suspension of domestic and international flights in Puerto Rico for 14 days amid the COVID-19 pandemic. See that? Among the requests Vasquez made to the FAA, which has sole jurisdiction over U.S. airspace, are for the government of Puerto Rico to be allowed to close the airports where the National Guard was not conducting screenings. She further requested for the FAA to issue an official response to her request, and she made in the letter sent March 4th asking that all chartered flights from locations affected by the novel coronavirus be redirected to the Luis Munoz Marin International Airport in Carolina, Rafael Hernandez Airport in Aguadilla, and Fernando Luis Ribas Dominici Airport in Isla Grande in order to centralize screenings. See that right there? In addition, the governor asked the FAA allow the local government prohibit all general aviation flights except the Munoz Marin Airport, also in an effort to concentrate monitoring efforts. The request exempts air ambulances, law enforcement agencies, and military flights. See that? Each of these requests are independent from each other. Vasquez said in the release issued by her office, La Fortaleza, we have requested for the FAA to grant us one of the requests or all of them simultaneously. Puerto Rico is an island. Until a few days ago, we had no cases of coronavirus, COVID-19, and now, through the arrival of tourists, both by ship and by plane, we have 5 positive cases. We don't want any more cases in Puerto Rico, and the only way to prevent more people from being infected with the virus is by taking greater control over the arrival of travelers. We need assistance from the federal government to allow us to control air travel. See that? Vasquez stressed that she can take control of the island's maritime ports and did so Sunday when banning cruise ships from arriving. Airport closures for non-aeronautical reasons, as in this case, require FAA authorization. So there you go. Let's go back. So it's getting real bad here, and people out here getting shook up. They're getting real shook up, man. You know? From what I've heard, you already got 2 guys. From what I know, you already got 2 guys that was once in the camp. They shook up now, man. These guys are shook up. They scared. They scared. Well, guess what? What the heck you expect? You turned your back on the Lord. You turned your back on your How about Shemi Shah, man. That hedge is gone. Now the scriptures do speak about the parable of the prodigal son. One who fell away that could be forgiven and brought back. But you don't want to play around like that when it comes to this truth. Don't think, oh yeah, well, I'm the prodigal son. Nah, man. But the prodigal son don't really necessarily mean one specific individual. But that ain't something that you look forward to. You want to be in this thing to the end. You know? This thing ain't no game. We've been telling y'all that for the longest. And the only ones that been telling y'all that was GMS, Great Millstone. Beginning with our apostles and elders on down. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able. They quarantine New Jersey. It's good quarantine, man. If I look at the word quarantine, a state, period, or place of isolation in which people or animals that have arrived from elsewhere or been exposed to an infectious or contagious disease are placed. Quarantine, from Wikipedia right here, it says, a quarantine is a restriction on the movement of people and goods which is intended to prevent the spread of disease or pest. It is often used in connection to disease and illness, preventing the movement of those who may have been exposed to a communicable disease, but do not have a confirmed medical diagnosis. And that's what they do with this shelter-in-place thing. Okay? Let's go back. Back to the scripture. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able. You're going to desire to go into a city, but you won't be able to. Why? Because of self-quarantine. Because of curfews. Because of shelter in place, because of martial law. You know? It's going to get bad out here, man. We can't wait, man. All right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Because of their pride, the pride of you Americans. All right? The city shall be troubled. It's going to be trouble in the cities. People going to be walking up and down the block committing crimes. In Philadelphia, they were just basically giving people warrants. In Philadelphia, they basically said, don't arrest nobody for nonviolent crimes. Things like vandalism, burglary, prostitution, auto theft, drug dealing, don't arrest them for it. Basically, just give them a warrant. They were given a warrant at the scene. Now, I didn't say murder. I didn't say shooting people. Well, that's what they were saying out there in Philadelphia. That's the movie The Purge right there. All right? Go see, it says, a man shall have no, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? Houses are going to be destroyed, people are going to be breaking out of people's homes. Okay, let's get that. This is from the dailywire.com. Internal memo reveals Philadelphia no longer arresting people for long list of crimes. Commissioner offers clarification. There's a lot of stuff here. It says an internal memo detailing changes to Philadelphia Police Department protocols in the face of the coronavirus crisis has now gone viral, and the response has compelled the police commissioner to issue a clarification. Among the outlets that have reported on the city's new protocols, and the Philadelphia Inquirer would publish the internal memo listing the now arrest-free nonviolent crimes one day after Philadelphia courts closed until April 1st to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Police Commissioner Daniel Outlaw notified commanders Tuesday that police will be delaying arrests for nonviolent crimes, including drug offenses, theft, and prostitution. The Inquirer reported. The city of Philadelphia has updated its posture concerning the COVID-19 pandemic, Outlaw's memo reads. Beginning today, March 17, 2020, the city is suspending all public-facing services. To that end, most municipal buildings will be closed to the public as the city tries to limit the potential for exposure to COVID-19. Patrol districts will remain open to the public. In addition, beginning Wednesday, March 18, 2020, only essential employees will be required to come into work. If you have questions about who is essential and not essential, please consult with your supervisor. The commissioner then details the police department's modifications to several of our existing protocols, including the list of offenses that will now be addressed via arrest warrant by the officer on the scene rather than the actual arrest. So they're giving you an arrest warrant rather than an actual arrest. It says, effective today, March 17, 2020, during the 4 p.m. and 12 a.m. hour, arrests for the following offenses will be effectuated via arrest warrant. All narcotics offenses, theft from persons, retail theft from auto, burglary, vandalism, all bench warrants, stolen auto, economic crime, bad checks, fraud, prostitution. The memo also explains the arrest warrant process. Officers will encounter persons who would ordinarily be arrested for these offenses and processed at a detective division immediately following arrest will adhere to the following procedures. Temporarily detain the offender for the length of time required to confirm identity. This may require the deployment of mobile fingerprint scanners. Prepare all relevant paperwork. Example 75-48, 75-48A, etc. Release offender. Submit all paperwork to the detective division of occurrence. The assigned detective will prepare an arrest affidavit and submit to DACU for review. See what DACU is. DACA for review. Hope everything will load up. See what that is. Baby, 1 second. You don't want to load up now. DACU for review. If charges are approved, the assigned detective will obtain an arrest warrant. The warrant will be served at a later time as conditions dictate. So what that means? They can go commit crimes, give people warrants, and guess what? When this thing so-called all blows over, they gonna come into your house and come get you. That's what they're gonna do. They'll come to your house and come get you. So you probably smashed the car window, stole a car. Hey, seize that guy. They gonna get your paperwork, get your identity. All right, let him go. And then when time comes to arrest you, guess what? All the people that was doing them crimes, they gonna come to your house and they gonna come get you. You know? Outlaw underscores in the memo that while the above list of offenses should generally be handled with arrest warrants, officers may determine that physical arrest is required in the interest of public safety. All right. Okay. If an officer believes that releasing the offender would pose a threat to public safety, the officer would notify a supervisor who will review the totality of the circumstances and utilize discretion in the interest of public safety in determining the appropriate course of action. Amid reports on a new policy, Outlaw issued a clarification Tuesday, emphasizing that the Philadelphia Police Department is not turning a blind eye to crime. Okay. All right. It says Clarification of PPD's temporary response model in light of COVID-19. To be clear, the Philadelphia Police Department is not turning a blind eye to crime. Persons who commit certain nonviolent offenses will be arrested at the scene. Once their identity has been confirmed, they will be released and processed via arrest warrant. This is similar to the summons process that is utilized in many other counties throughout the Commonwealth. An officer still has the authority to utilize discretion to take an offender into physical custody or immediate processing if the officer and supervisor believe that the individual poses a threat to public safety. In order to balance this approach, personnel from several plainclothes units have been reassigned to patrol duties to increase police presence and deter crime 24 hours a day. This temporary response model was implemented to protect our officers and the communities we serve from becoming infected or spreading COVID-19. Additionally, these protocols allow us to adjust to the changing availability of resources within other areas of the criminal justice system. To reiterate, criminal offenders will be held accountable for the crimes they commit. As outlined in the memo, among the other changes the police department is implementing are following. Personnel from several plainclothes specialized units will be temporarily reassigned to uniform patrol duties. The livestock vehicle impoundment program will be suspended until further notice. So that sounds like the purge. That sounds like a purge right there. I mean, they give them a certain time where they basically legalize crime. They legalize crime for 24 hours. But it's the time again. These people gonna be invading one another, right? The city's gonna be trouble, right? See? So it says, a man shall have no pity on his verse 18, but because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, right? So men gonna be afraid. So if men gonna be afraid, imagine how women gonna be. Imagine how children gonna be. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. They're gonna bring people home. They're gonna take their food. You know. I was talking to the Jake the other day. He said he brought his groceries in his house, but he brought his groceries in the house in a black garbage bag. So in case people were watching, they'll think they was carrying laundry or something like that. Believe it or not, you bringing in food. People on your block is looking, man. Yeah, they bringing food down there. You know. Eventually, people run out of food. People gonna start taking stuff, man. Lives, and they gonna start taking your food. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with a sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because it's gonna be a great tribulation in the land. So what's gonna happen is people gonna start getting killed by these troops. Because martial law, they're gonna come straight out and institute martial law all across the country. They're gonna share institute martial law in all these states, in all 50 states. All right? And people out there gonna be getting killed on the spot. Because martial law is basically military rule. All right? And they've been playing this for years. Let me get one more article, and that's it. Right here it says New York Mayor de Blasio almost there on calling for coronavirus shelter-in-place order. We'll discuss with Cuomo later Wednesday. It says Mayor de Blasio said Wednesday morning he's almost there in terms of his thinking on calling an order for New Yorkers to shelter at home due to coronavirus. I remember watching the news earlier this morning and seeing that. Well, yesterday, because today's actually Thursday now. We have a little bit more we have to make sense of how we're going to get people food and medicine, but I have to say it has to be considered seriously starting today. Here's what it said on NBC. He said he discussed the issue with Governor Cuomo later Wednesday, noting this is a decision that can only be made with the state of New York. However, Cuomo has dismissed the idea since de Blasio started airing the Tuesday. There's not going to be any quarantine where we contain people within an area, the governor listed on CNN on Tuesday night. There's not going to be any you must stay home in your house rule. I don't think sheltering in place worked for one locality, he added. The mayor has cited the San Francisco Bay Area example as a possible model for New York City. So you got the governor, Mayor de Blasio, and Governor Cuomo like they were at odds on this. But we already know what the plans are going to be, or we're thinking about it. They ain't thinking about it. They already know what they're going to do. And they're going to issue that shelter at home. They already know what they're gonna do, and more than likely that's what they're gonna do. Coronavirus hits New York. See how the outbreak affected the state. Okay. Officials in seven counties in the West Coast hub on Monday ordered some 7 million people to stay in their homes unless they're going out for food, medical supplies, or making an essential outing. De Blasio's Wednesday morning television appearances did not include a now customary update on the coronavirus toll. The city has seen 10 deaths and 923 confirmed cases as of late Tuesday. And mind, see um, as you can see, um, 10 deaths and 923 cases. That's really not a lot, but they're using this. They're using this as their way to institute all these things that they're instituting. And this ain't nothing new. But this ain't. We've been telling you this for the longest, and I ain't listen. Now I see it happening. Now I see it happening. And guess what? We ain't scared. We pray to the Most High, man, and the Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. All right, we did our diligence. We did what it was that we were supposed to do, and warn the people, man. That's our job, to warn the people. And only few people took heed to the warning. You got guys there that shook up, man, that was once in the camp. They scared. Brothers ran into them guys. You know? I was talking to a brother the other day, and make a long story short, he was like, yeah, whenever he would see this dude, the dude would try to start a conversation with him. And but the dude could tell that the brother, you know, spirit was like he didn't really want nothing to do with the guy. You know what I'm saying? Last week, the governor and mayor made emergency declarations barring gatherings of more than 500 people. That effectively shut down everything from museums and libraries to stadiums. Monday night brought the end of services on the premises of bars and restaurants, with officials encouraging anyone who can work from home and reports of layoffs growing. City life has ground to a halt. So it's getting real bad out here, man. Oh yeah, earlier when I was reading that article about Philadelphia stopping crime, the not said that basically don't arrest anybody for nonviolent crimes. That I couldn't find out what it meant for DACU. DACU means District Attorney's Charging Unit, as you can see right here at the top of your page, where it says VIB, Philadelphia Police Department to halt arrest for nonviolent crimes. Right there, it says 14 hours ago, an arrest warrant will be served at later times as the District Attorney's Charging Unit, DACU, approves the charges. So yeah, brothers, you know, this is just the beginning of sorrows, but the end is not yet. So our work ain't done. We gotta maintain our faith to the end. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm saying, oh praise the how about you, Hasha, the Valencia Apostle GMS. I hope brothers learned something. Shalom.